State Farm is going to raise Illinois homeowners insurance rates 27.2% in August, next month. 27% in one fell swoop. Now we know that they've done similar thing in California. This is coming to a state near you. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Illinois homeowners could see higher insurance rates as the number of extreme weather events increases. According to the Chicago Tribune, State Farm is raising rates in Illinois by 27.2%. Starting next month. That's one of the biggest rate hikes in the state's history.
Yeah.
It will affect over 1 million customers. New policyholders could see the rate hike as soon as next week. The increase comes as State Farm struggles to keep up with the rise in extreme weather across the country. For example, State Farm received 13,000 claims and paid out $4 billion to residents of California impacted by the Los Angeles wildfires.
So we've been following this topic, this, insurance in general, specifically homeowners insurance, for a long time. And rate increases in California that we've already seen. Now we've got Illinois, and you got Texas. Where aren't homeowners insurance rates going to the moon? Right? Isn't that kind of what you think? So when I saw this title, I'm like, oh man, Illinois. So that's Chicago. I mean, it's just tough. Doesn't matter what state you live in. Insurance is just going up, up, up. And they keep blaming these warm weather events. All right. Okay. So, yeah. Know what I mean? Let's read the article. As Texas grapples with the massive flooding that struck Hill Country, killed at least 119 people during the July 4th weekend. That was terrible. That was awful. Those kids at that Mystic camp, girls. Oh, can you imagine sending your kid off to summer camp and they drown or they can't find your daughter's body? Horrific. Many Illinois homeowners will soon see their homeowners insurance skyrocket due to the increase in extreme weather events. State Farm is beginning to raise homeowners insurance rates in Illinois by whopping 27.2 beginning August 15th. Rate hike, one of the largest. Heard that. In its filing, Bloomington, Illinois-based State Farm said the rate increase is driven by catastrophic losses related to extreme weather events in Illinois. And we had multiple increases in California, and they basically said there, well, we've had the weather events also here, but it's California's basically trying to protect the consumer. And in doing so, insurance companies haven't been able to raise their rates accordingly to offset the losses. They don't have they're stating, who knows when insurance companies tell you something? It's like, do you believe them? Do you look at the numbers and go, oh, that makes sense? These insurance commissions, they look into the books of these companies and like, oh, okay, I guess we'll give you the increase. And that's what you've got going on. But Illinois is a different drill, and State Farm apparently has just been able to go, boom, 27.2%. That's a massive, massive hit on homeowners insurance. Everything is just going up, isn't it? Over the last several years, our catastrophe provision has proven to be, this is corporate speak here, I'll do corporate voice. Over the last several years, our catastrophe provision has proven to be inadequate when compared to our actual catastrophe loss experience. Just say, hey, we're not able to charge you enough. You're just going to get charged here and you're going to like it. May I have another? While there is volatility associated with extreme weather events, our Illinois catastrophe losses have exceeded the year's catastrophe provision in 13 of the last 15 years. All right. So we're doing big increase now. We're going to have a bunch of big increases, just boom, 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 boom. Signaling the provision used in rating has been insufficient in recent history. Insurance is trying to play catch up. And it's not just homeowners insurance, it's everything. I mean, my L&I insurance has just gone through the roof here on the real estate companies. I'm talking about renewing tabs for the last week or so, just auto tabs. State of Washington, 600,000 people don't have tabs because they can't afford it because it's ridiculously expensive. Life has just become expensive, hasn't it? Or am I just getting old? I'm a cranky old man. Probably. State Farm spokesperson did not respond to a request for comment. I love how they have to put in there, yeah, we reached out to them and we asked them a really pointed question that we knew they wouldn't answer, but they didn't get back to us. In February, Northbrook, Illinois-based Allstate raised homeowners insurance rates by 14.3% for nearly 248,000 Illinois customers. As the broader insurance industry struggles to keep up with the increasing frequency of extreme weather events across the country. Yeah, you got a situation where they're paying out. Whether you believe in climate, change or whatever, I don't. Am I a denier? I think weather goes in cycles, and I think that's what we've got. And I don't think most of this can be blamed on, like, the lawsuits against big oil. You caused this extreme weather event. It's like, really? Really? You're going to cause and affect that? No, I'm a hard no-go on that kind of thing. But are these events happening? Yeah. Is it because of what we're putting into the air and pollution? I think weather just has its cycles over the years, right? And over millions and millions of years. People want to say, well, the last 10 years, how long has the earth been around? Whether you believe creationism or, something else, evolution, whatever it is that you believe, the Big Bang Theory, Earth has been around for a long, long, long time. And this idea that what we've done here as mankind is having a massive impact, yeah. State Farm, for example, has received nearly 13,000 claims and paid out more than $4.2 billion to California homeowners who suffered losses during the devastating wildfires that raged across the LA area in January. I mean, we know a lot of this stuff is because of the wildfires, and they had to pay out so much money. So much money. But, and on that, we're going to read another article here. Let's get through this one, though. Another article that will frighten you. You'll be like, oh, that's not good. 2024, Allstate raised homeowners insurance rates in Illinois by 12.7, while State Farm implemented a 12.3 increase. Everybody's jacking their rates up. Just expect it, right? Just expect it. Everything is just higher, more. Homeowners insurance rates have been spiking across the country, increasing 40% over the past 6 years. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds about right. I had a situation. One of the young gentlemen and young ladies that I know, a trainer at the athletic club, and they had a deal where their apartment complex in Bellevue, here in Bellevue, said that they couldn't have a grill on their deck, third floor deck. Couldn't have a grill because the insurance company said, nope, we can't do that. I have never heard of that, but, no grills on the decks of rented apartment units. Okay, I mean, I get it. They catch on fire. There's flame, there's propane. That makes sense. But they are trying to eliminate any type of variable because they're paying out so hard and all this. And I don't know what insurance company the complex had, but it was like, that's interesting. So I may have lent them a small portable barbecue that's not as easy to see as the big, tall one, but that's off the record. Yeah. Highest cumulative rate increases were in Colorado, Nebraska, Utah, Arizona, and Minnesota. Illinois ranked 22nd in average annual home insurance costs at $2,743 per year. The impending 27.2 rate percent increase would add about $746 per year. That's a chunk. What is that? 500 and you'd have to do that whole division thing, and I'm not going to do that, but it's a bunch, right? It's a lot of money. 746 per year. All right. So big rate increase. That's not what I'm looking for. How about this one? This is the one that I'm telling you. Oh, that's not good. Los Angeles fire survivor is told State Farm's $900,000 check is on hold due to insufficient funds. Could you imagine? I mean, you expect insufficient funds from people, right? Not necessarily the Financial institutions like an insurance company that's supposed to have your back in case something goes sideways, because that is literally the definition of insurance. But here we go. State Farm, $900,000 check. Well, it wasn't quite that much, but it was pretty darn close, right? Amelia McDonald couldn't believe her ears. She'd been navigating what she calls a horrible experience trying to get her claims paid by State Farm after the Eaton fire burned down her Altadena home and ranch in January. She, along with her father, daughter, and the goats that survived the fire, have been displaced since then. Now, a $876,354.07 check the insurer wrote wouldn't clear. Yeah, not enough funds here. Could you imagine if you called your bank and said, hey, what in the F is going on? Why hasn't this check cleared? And they tell you, oh, yeah, State Farm doesn't have the money. I'm sorry, what? Squeeze me? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's called insolvency. Maybe it's one of those things where they're getting a huge check from their reinsurance company, whatever, in the billions. I don't know, but, that's kind of what I'm imagining. It's like, all right, you had, some big funds come through, big funds go out. It's like at the end of the month if you pay all your bills that way. You get down and, all right, I've only got this amount of money in my checking account or whatever account it is you're paying out of. And you get really close. State Farm? That's illegal, isn't it? To not have funds and have a check, get issued and, oh yeah, no money there. Good luck with that piece of paper you got there, that $900,000 piece of paper that you're left with. She said someone there told her it was because State Fund, the state's largest property insurer, had insufficient funds. In fact, he told her the account had a negative balance. I'd want to know how much. Is it like $5 or is it 15 million? 50 million? Because they're paying out, $4 billion? She called the same department today and reached someone who, and when was this? A day ago, yesterday. She called the same department today and reached someone who told her that he expected the check to finally clear July 10th. Update, the check, which was also from a Chase bank account. So that's kind of where that happened, right? Cleared July 10th. But she pressed for details about the reason for the delay and asked to speak with a manager who told her that the funds have been on hold because the bank wasn't sure the check would clear. Yeah, I got a lot of checks going through here, and insurance company, oof. It's just stunning, McDonald told Cal Matters. I'm an insurance defense attorney. I've been working for insurance companies for more than 20 years. I've never had a check bounce to a claimant in 25 years of practice. You think about that. Your house burns down. You've been paying insurance for years and years and years. Now you need it? Oh, yeah. The check's going to eventually clear, but not right now. We don't have enough money. And you're left with, comforting. Is the insurance industry going to need a massive bailout? Probably. What if we had another similar fire in California, just like the one we had? It's not out of the realm of possibility. You got a bunch of nut jobs, homeless nut jobs on drugs, just running around setting fires. We know that to be true. You get a hot summer like this summer, set a couple of fires, boom, off to the races again, right? Horrible. But at what point does government have to step in and go, all right, yeah, we're going to back you up because you're insolvent. State Farm is the largest property insurer in California. It said Monday in an update on its website, $4.2 billion on almost 13,000 claims in the Los Angeles County fires. I saw a statistic that out of the 16,000 structures in California that burned down, they've issued rebuild permits for like 100. 100. After review on our end, I see no indication why the bank would not release the funds to our customer, of course. State Farm would not talk about McDonald's interactions with her bank or the allegation about insufficient funds. And she says, I really hope they're not in so much trouble, McDonald said. Then we're all in trouble. And that is why I am reading this story today. Not because I enjoy inflicting pain on people hearing about, good Lord, I'm already strapped financially. And now I've got just one more massive increase to my monthly bills that people are going, I don't know how we're going to make it through this financially. You got a lot of folks out there on the ropes because things have gotten just so expensive. I had one of my friends come in from Australia, from Tasmania, and he's down climbing Rainier right now. And he was talking about my barbecue, my grill, my Weber stainless steel grill being really expensive. And I was like, I got it on sale quite a few years ago, and we looked it up, and the retail price, and I think I paid maybe $1,200 for my grill. I do a lot of grilling. I like to cook on a grill, and, and cooking outside is nice in Seattle when you can, those 3 days out of the year when it's sunny. And so we were looking at the price, and my grill that I think I paid like $1,300 is now like $4,000. I'm like, all right, I know I got a like 50% kind of scratch and dent deal is already assembled, but that much, $4,000 for a barbecue? I don't think so, right? Everything has just ratcheted up. And after that, I was like, this makes no sense. These costs are just, again, old man rant, right? July 10th, the day after this story published, State Farm spokesperson Tom Hartman emailed Cal Metters a written statement. State Farm General continues to have the funds available to meet our commitments to customers. Except this one. Not this one. What about this one? We can't speculate on what the bank may have said to our customer or its processes regarding the release of funds. My thought was this could have been a one-off. Let's be reasonable. This is news for reasonable. This is not news for, people who enjoy shenanigans, right? No, it's not that. It's reasonable. So, all right, maybe it's a one-off thing. But when the bank says we're not sure if it's going to clear, how many other folks would have checks outstanding? These can't be, when you've got how many claims? 13,000 homes that, went down in California. Those people are all expecting claims of some sort, whomever had insurance. And you're telling me that there's maybe just this one-off? No, that's not reasonable. It's just not reasonable. We can't speculate on what the bank may have said. Yeah, whatever. Earlier this year, State Farm said claims from the LA fires would worsen its financial condition. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And potentially drive it out of California. Well, they want to get out of California anyway, right? Too much liability, where it's either canceled or refused to renew tens of thousands of policies. Yeah. I mean, if you're an insurance company and you can't make a go of it, then you just say, you know what, we're out of here. Good luck with that. Good luck with your state-run program, right? In May, State Farm received an unprecedented approval from the state. They basically strong-armed the state to get those rates moved up because California has such an onerous process for insurance companies to get rate increases. And so insurance companies have just lagged way, way behind because it's such a grind in California. And so to get approval for an increase. And so insurance companies have just been bailing left and right because the process is just absolutely ridiculous. Another example of governmental regulation that is intended to protect the consumer. Oh, we're going to get you really low rates. We're not going to allow them to just jack it up at will. But in turn, in the reality, it costs the consumer more. It costs Californians more because there's not enough insurance companies out there to spread the liability around. Can't get a policy. Among the company's arguments during a public hearing was that its credit rating had been downgraded and that its solvency and therefore the policies of more than 1 million California homeowners were at real risk. Well, that's not comforting, is it? Your insurance company goes sideways just as you have like a major catastrophe. State Farm is facing lawsuits related to the fires, including complaints about its handling of smoke damage claims and allegations that it's systematically underinsured policyholders. You're going to have all kinds of litigation coming out of this because there's so much money on the line. It's, literally billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? And so I'll see you in court. Go F yourself. I'll see you in court. You're going to have a whole bunch of that because that's kind of the situation that we're in. Not kind of. It is the situation we're in. Insurance companies, if they can't make a buck, if they can't make a profit, and clearly when you've got a checking account that, well, that may or may not have enough funds in it, and they've got to have, checking accounts, financial accounts with all kinds of banks because they're not limiting it to one bank. They wouldn't, I don't think, you know what I mean? Michael Bedart, an attorney who has litigated insurance companies, said he has never heard of an insurer's check bouncing either, but he has heard of insurers going insolvent. The nearly $900,000 in funds McDonald is waiting for is coverage of her house and ranch. State Farm also issued her check for $335,000 for the loss of contents on her property, $335,000. According to records seen by Cal Matters, she deposited that check in a different bank account. That check cleared. Whew. So if you got a check coming, make sure it's actually coming because you never know. But you know what is coming? Yeah, increases to all the insurance you have because everything's just gotten more expensive. It bites. Wish I had better news. But this is the reality. This is reasonable. It's not reasonable, but it's what it is, right? I mean, this is just how things are going. Wild times. All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Bye for now.